What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we need to talk about Turbo. I'm about to make some decisions on Turbo because the action is getting very juicy. But before I start, if you don't know me personally or you are not a subscriber, then you can go ahead and just get out. Click off of the video. This is not for you. The folks who I'm doing this for, you know who you are. So that being said, I don't want to hear any comments, any crap, crazy talk, or anything else. Trolls, you can hit the door right now. So let's proceed and talk about what's happening here. We're on the one-day chart, and we have two red candles, intermediary green candle, followed by three red candles in a row. Current price 0.00893. Now I'm still sitting on my original bag that I bought at 0.003. And after we sailed up here to the top, I said I'm going to wait until we correct down back to 0.0035 and buy again, and we never hit it. So, of course, we went up to 0.014, 1.4 cents, corrected, shot up again. Now I'm crossing my fingers, and I think that we are going to get a correction that will take me down to my new target price based on what we've seen in history. And so this thing could shoot up at any moment, and everything I'm saying could go absolutely wrong. We could bounce out of here, even though we have a crossover confirmed. The slow line is up above the fast line. Whenever the orange is above the blue, we're in a downtrend. As you can see, that coincides with this activity as price is coming down. And now we are at the point of control price of the action you see on this chart. Is it going to hold or fall below? Well, the stochastic says we're going to fall below. We also have a bearish set of oscillators on the MACD. We're printing solid red on the histogram. So all those indications say that all things being equal, without a whale coming in and wrecking this beautiful chart, price is going to continue to go down. Now, we're going to go to the 1 week chart, and I'm going to show you where I think it's going to go down to. And then we're going to show you some history of what has happened in the past, which is how I'm going to base this trade that I'm going to pull off that we're about to see. Okay, so we're going to start from the previous few peaks, and then we're just going to come to the current situation and just see what we see. So after the initial blast off, of course, it corrects all the way down to 0.00007. Wouldn't you have loved to get in at that price? We had consolidation, we blasted off, and then we correct. So how far down did it correct? Well, according to this chart, price went down 74%. Let's just go up a tick. Let's call it 72%. That was the correction after this big God candle, which doesn't look like a God candle here because it gets dwarfed by the activity that takes place after this progression. You can see the progression going on. It's just triangles, triangulation, moving upward. Let me just draw it on here for you. You see this triangle right here? Or you can call it a pennant. That's a triangle. That was triangle number one. Now, what happened during the next move? Well, we pump up here to this price of about 0.0015, all right? How far down did it correct? Well, it corrected down approximately 67%. Not bad, 67% after that massive pump. Let's see here. Here's our triangle. See, it's not doing anything. This is not rocket science. And this is also not an exact science, all right? We're just drawing triangles on the chart to give us an idea of what is possible. Okay, now let's move up to the current pump. And I'm going to have to clear this chart, and then we'll scrunch this down so we can fit in the next move. Because you see, it's parabolic, okay? Parabolic means when you draw a parabola, you have a very steep section, and we're in the steep area right now. So look at this next pump. I've got to scrunch it down even more to get it all in here. So after we finished triangle 1, triangle 2, now there's triangle 3, and then we're currently in triangle 4. Well, let's check out and see how far we corrected on the third massive pump. Here we go. we corrected down 70%. How about that? So the first one was 72%. The second one was 67%. The third one is 70%. Okay, so that takes us up to the current pump, and we're going to look at 2 points. We'll look at 2 points here, all right? So now that we know that the range of correction was 67% to 72%, we know what's possible. So let's just keep it conservative, and let's check out what could happen if we correct down 67%. And we're going to do it one of 2 ways. Way number 1 is we're going to count from the last green wick, which is what the last 2 pumps were based on. So starting from the green wick, if we go down to about 67%, that gives us a price of 0.0044. All right, that's from the green wick. But if we go from the red wick, which made it higher, let's get a price check from there. So we're going to correct down, and we're going to stop at a conservative 67%. And that's 0.0047. All right. So somewhere around 0.0045 on average is what I'm looking at as the possibility for this thing to correct. So let's just put a line here at 0.0045-ish, somewhere around here. So I'm going to draw this line in. It's going to be purple. And there it is right there. So based on history, we could expect for the normal worst case scenario for this price to correct down all the way down to this purple line from one of the 2 of these peaks. All right, so that would bring us down here to the purple line. And then the next pump is going to go a lot higher than that. How long is it going to take? I'm not sure. Right now, looking at this 1 week chart, just looking at the dates here, you got 1 week for every candle. So since the green wick, that happened in October, in the middle of October. All right, and here we are at the end of December. So we're considering 2.5 months from that peak to where we are right now. And then if we're starting from the red peak, we're looking at the beginning of December. So how much time transpired between the previous pump? Well, that happened. The peak was in the end of May 27th, and we hit the bottom point somewhere around August of 2024, the beginning of August. So let's look at that again. We're going to say there's May, so we've got June, July, and beginning of August. So it was roughly 2 months. Okay, so if we look at the green candle, which happened on October the 14th, and we go 2 months, it would possibly be January the, say, 15th. Somewhere in the middle of January, which is the end of where I've got these green boxes, the strike zone boxes. If we go from the red one and add 2 months, then we are looking at roughly, let's see, February the 9th. So somewhere out here a little bit ahead of those strike zone boxes. I think we got a little bit of time to wait. And again, I'm going to tell you what, it might blast off from here and this chart could get wrecked. But all we have to go by is the chart. And if everything stays balanced and equal, and there's no ridiculous whale action, a world war, or some rich fat cat, if Elon Musk discovers turbo and wants to jump in, it could go straight up to the moon. But if everything stays equal, all we can do is say, hey, I'm going to make a decision based on history. Each one of these progressions had a correction between 67 and 72% from the peak. And the time period was around 2 months for each one of these. From the peak, looking at this one, which was December of 2023, beginning of December, and the bottom happens at around February the 19th, so it's almost 2 months to the letter, and then it pumps to the next one, and this next one starts in February, the end of February, and where does it go? It goes all the way to 20th of May. All right, so just a little bit less than 2 months. This one goes a little bit more than 2 months. We're starting out here at the peak. which occurred at the end of May. And then we're coming down to the bottom. And before that pump, we're looking at September, beginning of September. So beginning of May, or what was that? Beginning or end of May? End of May. So June, July, August. So it's about 3 months there. All right. And then this one is looking like, hey, after we hit this peak, we're only 2 months in. So we got a little bit of time left before we see this play out. The whole correction should play out. So that's why I'm going to wait. I might get impatient and start buying when we get to the bottom of each strike zone box. So there is a strong support at the price level of 0.0077. There's also a strong support at the bottom of this box at 0.0054. I'd be satisfied with that. I don't know if I want to wait until we get to the bottom of this third box because that is below the 67%. All right, we would have to correct more than 67%, and we haven't seen that happen to this point, and that's 0.0035. I'm not going to be that greedy. I think buying anywhere from 0.0077 down to 0.0053 is fine. I mean, what this thing could do, oh man, I mean, who knows? If we just look at this progression based on what we're seeing right here, let's just connect the dots of some of these peaks, and let's just see what's possible if it was linear. And it's not going to be linear because you see that these first two are flat. See the movement from here to here, and then all of a sudden we go parabolic, then flat. So just based on this progression, after we finish correcting, we could hit 2 cents. And so you could look at a 4x from that 2 cent point, but then guess what? The next move after this line is going to be parabolic. So then you're going to have it jump way up here, and you're going to be looking at turbo kind of hitting up to the 5-6 cent range and then onward from there. Each new parabolic movement will dwarf the previous. So if I had to draw this on here, the parabolic movements would look something like this. Here is a parabola that you can't even see. It's right there. Here's another one right there. Here's another one, parabolic move. Here's another one, parabolic move. The next one will be something like this. And then you'll have consolidation, and then you'll have another something like that. Those are the parabolic moves that it can make. Now, I'm thinking 60 cents is possible just from what I'm hearing talk on the street. $1 could even be possible with this. I don't know. If I can get 100x out of it, I'm probably going to just cash in the chip. So if I can get my biggest bag at 0.005, if it hits 50 cents, I'm out. That's a 100x from the beginning, just on this little turbo coin. I probably will buy it on Coinbase and take the risk of leaving it there, which is not the safest thing to do, but I'm cheap and I don't want to pay the gas fees to put it in my wallet. But if I want to, I can put it on my Ledger or I can put it on my TANGEM wallet. But whenever I sell it, I probably will sell it on Coinbase and just pay my stupid capital gains tax and call it a day. Because at 100x, who can complain? So imagine if you put $100 into it at 0.005, wow, that's going to cash out for $10,000. That's not bad. Now, I'd like to get a little bit more than $100 worth because I want to be able to do some bigger things when I cash out. But we'll see. Let me know if you understood the TA and if this was simple. Oh, one last thing that I didn't point out. This stochastic crossover here, this bearish stochastic crossover has to play out. So we're going to need this to come down. It might not make it to the oversold zone, but we're going to need at least a full cycle. Sometimes it'll come down and bounce back up, head fake and come down, just like you saw the last 2 times out of the 4, 3 out of 4. The first time we came up, we went down, fake out, and then hit the bottom. Second time, it was just up and down. Third time, down, fake out, down. Third time, up, down, fake out, down. So this could be the chance that we're waiting for to get a full stochastic cycle and then a push up here. And then the big question is when is the bull market peak? Is it first quarter? I don't think so. Is it second quarter? It could be. Is it third quarter? More likely. End of third quarter is what I'm thinking. Some people think it's fourth quarter. Whatever the case, I'm going to cash out once I hit 50x. I'll start to sell a portion and then sell all the way up to 100x, because you don't want to play yourself and be sitting looking stupid after turbo hits a buck and then we hit the bull market peak and start to sell off and you can't get your orders to fill on the way down. It's a lot easier to sell into a run than to sell into the process of the bear market whenever prices tank. So that's all I've got for this one. Like, share, and subscribe with your friends who want to know more of this play-by-play. This is going to be the type of videos that I do for the members group. And I promise you, tomorrow I'm getting the webpage set up. And those of you who are interested, post in the comments, get me your email address so I can add you to the list and I'll get you set up. And then I'll share with you all of the plays that I have, and we'll keep the TA going in the private group and make this money. So let's get it done. That's all I got for this one. This is Carlton, and I am out.